Good evening, Dhamma friends. Wish you all happiness and peace by the power of the Noble Triple Gem. This evening, we are going to begin the Sutta studies with the compassion and kindness as before. It is the last Saturday of August in 2025. We are trying to stay in the Dharma in every means for 1 hour and about 15 minutes. I hope this session help you understand the Dharma more and more. Perhaps the discussion help you strengthen your goals in the spiritual practice. So we'll see how things go. You are warmly welcome for this episode of Sutta Studies. So I kindly request everyone to put their right effort to keep your mind on the proper status of Dhamma during the Sutta discussion. Since the topic of the Sutta is really interesting, I think many people in the discussion will get those understanding of the Dharma related to discourses very much. Let me begin by paying our due respect to the Supreme Buddha who taught us the beautiful Dhamma. May these venerations and respect and honor should be a merit to everyone to continue their practice on Sila, Samadhi and Panya. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. I pay my homage to the Sublime One, the Worthy One, the Fully Enlightened One. Homage to the Sublime One, the Worthy One, the Fully Enlightened One. Homage to the Sublime One, the Worthy One, the Fully Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, friends, today's Sutta study begin with the title, How to Become a Sotapanna. That is the very title I keep in mind in holding today's Sutta studies. Without giving us a name of the Sutta, I gave you a kind of topics because there are many suttas to explain this topic. How to become a Sotapanna? Who is Sotapanna? One question we could ask from us. And what kind of things happen to us if we become a Sotapanna? Aren't we Sotapanna yet? The very word Pali word Sotapanna means the one who enter into the stream. So stream is nothing but the Noble Eightfold Path. So with the person who enter into the Noble Eightfold Path exactly as it is called Sotapanna. So the one who attained to the stage of Sotapanna is a wonderful person according to the Dhamma because he has or she has gone to a state where there is no return for normal average life. Sotapanna is the second of the 8 noble disciples. So he has or she has come to a level where a lot of good things happen, so that he is called Niyato Sambodhi Parayano, the one who definitely goes forward to attain the full enlightenment. Niyato Sambodhi Parayano. It is a certainty that he or she goes to the full enlightenment within short period of time compared to the whole cycle of samsara. So Sotapanna is defined in the suttas, which I sometimes take, sometimes do not take, depending on the time. Sota is a word given to the Noble Eightfold Path. So the one who enter into the Noble Eightfold Path, as I said before, firmly is called Sotapanna or the extreme winner. So today we are going to focus some discourses in which the information are given how to become a Sotapanna and what sort of practices we could do to attain Sotapanna. I think this topic is popular in among many Buddhist and non-Buddhist people, because this is one topic that is scattered in the suttas. In other words, if you look at the individuals of the noble eight people, this is the very first one we talk about, and many information are there than the other individuals. We see the qualities of Arahant and how to become Arahant is being explained very much. But Anagami and the third level of enlightenment and the second level of enlightenment, the information are limited compared to the first and the fourth one. So Sotapanna, I think, is very difficult state to achieve, because you should become a Sotapanna without any attainment to any stage of enlightenment. But when you talk about Sakadagami, Anagami, or the full enlightened person who attain to other stage of enlightenment, they have a kind of experience about enlightenment before. But Sotapanna is, if one goes to be a Sotapanna, that person is doing Dhamma practice, analysis on the Dhamma as a kind of person who never tasted this any phala state. So that very difficult part out of these four phala is to be a Sotapanna. One who attained to Sotapanna, even without any much effort, they should be either in other stages, or at least a maximum 7 lifetime become a arahant, so the full enlightened person. So let's get into the discussion now. I will start reading Sotapatti-pala Sangyutta to know much about the Sotapanna. If you happen to read books, just go to this section of the Sotapanna. It is from Samyutta Nikaya, Mahavaggapali, Samyutta Nikaya, Mahavaggapali, Sotapatti Sangyutta. There are many suttas in that which talk about the Sotapanna and qualities to be Sotapanna. Elsewhere in Tripitaka, we found very interesting discourses. What we need to gather to become a Sotapanna. One such sutta I find is Silavanta Sutta, is still from Samyutta Nikaya, in Kanda Samyutta, as I remember. Such suttas explain what kind of things a noble disciples do. So first I start with the Sotapatti-pala Samyutta. Very first discourse of the Sotapatti-pala Samyutta is called a wheel turning monarch. It's called Chakravarti Raja Sutta. So Chakravarti Raja means a wheel turning monarch. So why do we have that title for the sutta? The Buddha, because Buddha has taken that examples. Chakravarti Raja, or the highest ruler in the world, could be a very powerful person. So I think only one person can attain to that state of society at one time. Everybody else is unable, so that particular appointment or this position is so venerated and highlighted. But the problem is, even this universal monarch, the king emperor, has not overcome aging. He is or she is vulnerable to be sick, and being a king that rule the entire world doesn't mean that you defeat the death. So he is going to die. So being a universal emperor or a king or monarch doesn't mean that you stop all kinds of suffering. Therefore, being a Sotapanna is much more important and valuable, praiseworthy than being a universal monarch. That is what the Buddha talks about in this Chakravarti Raja Sutta, the very first sutta of the Sotapatti Palasangyutta. In that, we see Buddha talks about this. Suppose a wheel turning monarch were to rule as sovereign lord over 3-4 continent. When his body breaks up after death, he is reborn in a good place, heavenly realm, in the company of gods of 33. There he entertained himself in the garden of delight, escorted by a band of nymphs, and supplied and provided with the 5 kinds of heavenly sensual stimulation. Still, as he is lacking 4 things, he is not exempt from hell, the animal realm, or the ghost realm. He is not exempt from place of lost, bad place, and underworld. We know that there are 4 places with which have so much suffering. If you reborn into these 4 realm, you are going to experience utter suffering. Even we cannot explain by words. What are these 4? Animal kingdom, ghost realm, and then the hell, and also animal kingdom, ghost realm, and what is the other one? Hell, and the place where you have a lot of suffering. They are called asura. They are negative-minded living beings. So the universal king, the emperor, even though he experienced all kinds of sensual pleasures in the world, in the universe, he has not overcome the possibility of rebirth in these 4 places. Now suppose a noble disciple wears rags and feed on a scrap of alms food. Still, as they have 4 things, they are exempt from hell, the animal realm, or the ghost realm. They are exempt from places of loss and bad places, and they are so. Even suppose there is a man or a woman who have nothing to enjoy in life. They are very poor. They don't have palaces like houses to live. They are very common. They are very poor. Poverty is the characteristic feature of their life. However, despite the place of living, place of birth in human existence, they are not having that 4 things in their nature, reborn in 4 unhappy places. What are the 4 things the universal monarch does not have? What are the 4 things this poor person has? These are the 4 things. As you know, it is when a noble disciple has experiential confidence in the Buddha, in the Dhamma, in the Sangha, and also in the noble training. So, if you have unwavering confidence on the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and practice Sila, ethical conduct. So this person he loves ethical conducts very much. Therefore, he or she doesn't break them. He or she is not going to violate these principles because this person considers these principles very much, and whenever and wherever he or she is, they are protecting these principles. So such devotions to the ethical conduct is the 4th one. So what are the 4 things that the poor person follows? But even the king is so powerful, he doesn't do. These are the four things: unwavering confidence or Shraddha on the Buddha, unwavering confidence on the Dhamma, unwavering confidence on the Sangha, and continuity of practicing moral principles. There is no breach, there is no broken seal for this person. His seal is steady. So if one has these four, it doesn't matter where he lives and what position he or she hold, they are going to be sotapannas. They are going to be away from being born in those unhappy places. So the Chakravarti Rajasutta, Buddha talk about, in that sutta, Buddha talks about this thing. Being even a very rich person is not a matter, because the money, the power, the energy you collected from various material sense doesn't make any sense with regard to the suffering you have in this life, and also after this life there are chances of reborning unhappy places. But this your social status, your status in life doesn't matter if you have unwavering confidence on the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and also Sila. You are going to be a Sotapanna for sure, uh, before you before you passed away, and you die as a Sotapanna. Therefore, your rebirth could definitely be in happy places, either as a human, either as a divine, and there is no downfall for him or her. Always he or she continues their practice to be a fully enlightened person. So that's the sutta we find first in Sotapatipala Samyutta. When you come to read sutta one after the other, you find repetition, similar information. But anyway, when you have that taste on the subject and read, the knowledge about the Sotapanna stores in your mind very strong, because our goal is to be a Sotapanna at least. Because look at Venerable Sariputta, the one of the chief disciple of the Buddha, always tried to make people Sotapanna, either bhikkhus or bhikkhunis or lay people, it doesn't matter. His effort was to turn our mind into Sotapanna Magga, and then we can attain Phala, the fruition of the Sotapanna very much. So if you know the path to Sotapanna state, you definitely get it, because it makes sure that you are away from apaya, hell. It makes sure that you are going to be away from suffering in this life. How many people suffer from various issues? Sometimes frustration, sometimes loneliness, sometimes fear of dying, sometimes fear of being alone. We like many things, but we don't get, so we suffer a lot from these concept. And we want the world in all kinds of conflict, world leaders, but it doesn't happen. We worry, and we fed up with some people. We accuse them for doing nothing for us, for our happiness, and we sometimes blame the weather, the nature, the sun, and the moon. If you don't have any, hate or aversion with somebody else, you might complain for the nature. So that is how human mind goes when it is not supported by moral conduct, moral principles. But if you have a plan to be a very wholesome person, of course, in my view, everyone should have that plan in mind. So then we can be a Sotapanna in this very life. Uh, one thing I want to highlight is that, has the Buddha talked about the previous karma of each and every individuals of that society who attain to stages of enlightenment? No. We know that great disciples of the Buddha had a history, who they practiced Dhamma from previous Buddha's life. That's why they were able to be a very popular, accomplished disciples of the Buddha, so with so many skills. But those who attain to Sotapanna, of course, some had, some do not have. Why? some people started their training on noble virtues in this very life. Due to Kalyanamita, wholesome friendship, and also frequent listening to them and even Yoniso Manasikara, they were able to sharpen their mind to the point of attaining Sotapanna. So that we haven't seen that Buddha is talking about each and everyone history with some Dhamma practice from previous life, previous Buddha's time. You do not, because attaining Sotapanna is happening when we fulfill the conditions for it, right? So next sutta in Sotapatipala Samyutta is called the Pali word for it is Brahmacharya Yoga Sutta. When we come to English translation, it's called the culmination of spiritual life. It means that the Buddha is delivering this short sermon to bhikkhus. A noble disciple who has four things is a stream enterer, not liable to be reborn in the underworld, bound for awakening. I have been using Bhikkhu Sujato's translation, not Bhikkhu Bodhio Tanissaru. That's why sometimes you perhaps see some different translation. So what for? When it is when a noble disciple has experiential, again same thing. This translation is called experiential confidence in the Buddha. That means you have to have that feeling that the Buddha is fully enlightened. To do so, to feel so, you should be able to feel some sort of absence of craving in your mind. So when we said Buddha is fully enlightened, Arahant, he is Samma Sambuddha, self-awakening. Further goes Vijjacharana Sampanna. Buddha had these type of knowledges and also attainments. And this is how the Buddha's behavior worked. And he knew the world system. He knew people who could be tamed and so on. So part of the we were unable to reach to the level of the Buddha in any way, but at least we have to taste some sort of Dhamma practices in order to see the Buddha, right? Yo Dhammang Passati, so Mang Passati. Buddha said in a number of places that if you want to see me, not through physical eye, from wisdom eye, you better practice Dhamma. When you put the Dhamma into application, you could feel who am I, what kind of teacher we have. So that's why we talk about the unwavering confidence. Avechapasada, the Pali word for unwavering confidence is Avechapasada. There your devotions to the Buddha is established with reason. Therefore, it is not changed by any means. Even somebody come and said, tell you that I am going to kill you if you do not change your religion. These people who attain to Sotapanna state are not going to do it. They value the Dharma practice, the experiences they have than their own life. They would say that, okay, you can kill me, but I never change my understanding. It's impossible. So once you attain to Sotapanna state, you cannot change it. So we quickly go into other aspect because after the discussion today, in my understanding, you would be able to have a kind of good thought that I should become a Sotapanna. These are the things now I should focus. That kind of inspiration should come to you at the end of the discourse. So, friends, I should go to Ratana Sutta, which is a sutta we recite always for different purposes because it contains some very beautiful elements of the Sotapanna. We see at the beginning of the sutta that there are some stanzas to describe the real nature of arahants. But after two stanzas, we found this Yatinda kilo pataving sitosia chatubbi vatebi asampakampiyo. Tatupamang sapurisang vadami yoarya sachani avichapasati. So it means that the host or the huge mountains, rock mountains, well ground in the flow, and even if the wind blows, thunder wind blows from different direction, this strong concrete force or the huge rock is not shaken by, because it is well grounded, it is very strong. Likewise, the Sapurisa, the person who established on the Buddha, in the confidence on the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha and Sila, is not shaken by the attack of greed, hatred, and ignorance. Right? So, in other words, the person who establishes on the sasana very much with the unwavering confidence on the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha and Sela is not going to shattered by any attack, any influence of greed, hatred, and ignorance, because he has cut off the some mountain like unwholesome state, so that his mind has turned into a state where there is no other thoughts. So that stanza is beautifully explained by the Buddha. Atupamang sapurisang vadami yovarya sachani avichapasati. The reason is given there why his unwavering confidence, that state of life, because he or she has gone through the Four Noble Truths. Tatupamang sapurisang vadami yo arya sachani avichapasati. Arya Sachani Avechapasati. His mind has gone to a state beyond normal, and Avechapasati, the knowledge about the Four Noble Truth is established very much. In other words, you have gone through the entire Noble Eightfold Path as a theory, as a practice, so that your view about it is unchanged. It doesn't, the full enlightened person is usually going through every aspect of the Noble Eightfold Path and the Four Noble Truths. But being a Sotapanna means you have fully seen the project. Yankinchi Samude Dhammang Sabbantang Nirodh Dhammang. Another term we use to tell what exactly the Sotapanna understood. And if you pay attention to the first discourse of the Buddha, Dhammacakkappavattana, the first disciple of the Buddha is introduced by the Buddha with the term, the same way. So the Venerable Kondanya understood the arising and passing of phenomena, so that his mind turned into this state, he said. So basically, that is what the Ratana Sutta says. After it, the further analysis is given in the Ratana Sutta, Ye Arya Sachani Avechapasati. So, after it, we see Sahavasa Dasan Sampadaya, that stanza. I'm not telling these stanzas fully, because perhaps you do not know it. I think 99 people know these stanzas as they recite them on daily basis. So Sahavasa Dasana Sampadaya Tayasu Dhamma Jahita Bhavanti. We find a very interesting information about the persons to be Sotapanna, what he does before attaining Sotapanna. The Sahavasa Dasana Sampadaya, the one who enters into this particular vision. The vision means the Noble Eightfold Path or the Four Noble Truths. So he or she, when as soon as they enter into it, is able to destroy three fetters, three sangyojanas. Sahavasa Dasana Sampadaya, Tayasu Dhamma. Tayasu means three. Dhamma, elements, Jahita Bhavanti, completely eradicate. What are the three unwholesome states that this particular person eradicate? As you know, Sakkaya Ditthi, Vichikiච්ඡa, Sīlabbata Paramasa. the self-view, which is wrong, and then vichikicha, doubt, and then the wrong practices and ritual. These are the three unwholesome state of our mind that this person completely destroy and confirm the Sotapanna state. Therefore, he or she doesn't do six wrong things, never ever. What are these six things? Five rigorous karma, and also change in the dharma or the view he has now. So five rigorous karma means it's called pancha anantarya karma, killing one's father and the mother and shedding bloods on the Buddha from the Buddha's body, and then killing an arahants, and then how many things we said? Killing mother and father, killing an arahant, shedding blood from the Buddha's body, and then what are the other one? I will. My mind is working on it, but right now it is not coming. I will tell you. So Pancha Anantarika, and then the sixth one is he never change his dharma even at the rest of life. He's not going to change his dharma. So these are the things he never change. Therefore, his qualities further discussed. He never ever intentionally does a mistake. So if there is a mistake he does, of course, there are chances of doing that, because once you destroy three fetters, means you have seven things to destroy. If he does some mistakes, he's not going to hide it. He's going to, or she's going to, reveal it and make amendments. But we cannot expect this from people before they attain to Sotapanna state, because they have Sakkaya Ditthi, so that they might conceal it from other people. But when somebody attain to Sotapanna state, he is not going to do that. So far, I told you some information, but I didn't pay attention yet to things we should do to become a Sotapanna, because our title for today's discussion is how to become a Sotapanna. Why do we want to be a Sotapanna? The answer is given in the first two discourses we quoted, because becoming Sotapanna is a security for you to be away from bad destination after that. Before you attain to Sotapanna, there is no guarantee. But when the Buddha talk about this in Mahanama Sutta, where his younger brother was asking a question, and the Buddha gave an answer. Even if not a Sotapanna, still you can be in human realm and divine realm, because you have Shraddha on the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. But it doesn't mean that after some time you go back to low life, right? So, for example, you have been living a very meaningful life with the noble triple gem in your life, so that you are a very ethical person. After that, you must be a very strong human or a divine being. It doesn't mean that you sealed, you got your seal very to be away from for destination. But being a Sotapanna means you definitely have it. So that we want to know why we become Sotapanna, because there is a security. In one discourses of the Sotapatipala Samyutta, Buddha talks about the level of suffering the Sotapanna ended. So we talk about suffering in the first noble truth. Birth is suffering, aging is suffering, being sick is suffering, and death is suffering. Not getting what we want is suffering. Getting what we do not want is suffering, right? So leaving from loved one is suffering, and association with bad people is suffering. So and at last, the attachment to five aggregates of clinging is suffering. So Buddha has talked about suffering in many ways. We have seen so many things in life. So the Sotapanna, the person who attained to Sotapanna, finished, I think 98% of these suffering with his or her attainment to Sotapanna. There was a simile to mean this particular statement by the Buddha. What is the simile? Suppose a man he, makes a huge tank. For example, this tank is 4 miles long and wide, and the height is also 4 miles. So it's a huge one, right? So he put mustard seed on it to the top level, and now he takes mustard handful of mustard seed from that huge tank. So that now there are uncountable number of mustard seed in the huge tank, and you have some on your farms. So the Buddha's question, which one is more? Either in the tank or in your hand? Of course, the simple answer is very simple. The mustard seed on your farm is countable, right? But the mustard seed on the tank is uncountable. Then amongst the suffering, that now the Buddha comes to the point. The suffering the Sotapanna ended is similar to the mustard seed on the tank. And the suffering he has to deal with now is likened to the mustard seed on your farm. So once you attain to Sotapanna state, that means you have little suffering to deal with, the causes of suffering, because you eradicated completely the Sakkaya Ditthi, self-view, and the wrong practices and ritual. That quality, that behavior in your life is also gone. And then doubts about right and wrong is also gone. So you have a particular strong mind about you have a certainty in your mind about what you do. With regard to the truth, you don't have doubts. With regard to the wrong, you don't have doubts. You do not, even the Buddha or any teacher, to attain full enlightenment, you can do it. Aparappacho Satu Sasane, without the help of the Buddha or any other disciples, you can be a full enlightened person. If you haven't done anything during that period, still the far you can go is 7 birth. After 7 birth, you become an enlightened person. So being a Sotapan is therefore a solution for everything. And we found information from various sources in the Tripitaka that Sotapannas have kamarag and patika, sensual desire is there for him or her. Therefore, patika, ill will, or kind of irritating nature of your mind should be there for Sotapanna. Therefore, you could get married. If we talk about lay Sotapannas, lay people as Sotapannas, they could get married. But when we talk about the monks and nuns who attain to Sotapanna, they never do it, because there are a lot of principles to follow, Vinaya rules to follow, so that they do not do. But those who attain to Sotapanna state at the very stage of life, got married to a man and woman in their prime age, and we have seen these instances in the entire Tripitaka. So therefore, there may be some karma he or she does to make him or her continue in samsara, but remember that we cannot see that he violate those principles that take him to apaya or hell. It is not happening at all. So there are many information about Sotapanna. Right now, as I said, I want to say this at last before we go to the discussion. our main goal should be at least to be a Sotapan. This is an era where many material development is taking place. In other words, there are many things to be considered. There are many things to trap us on various things, so that uh, getting into right practice alone in a private place is unable for many people. It is an era that lack of arahants and existing of arahants and other enlightened people. But at the time of the Buddha, in later period, even in Sri Lanka, there were monasteries whom people know about, Maggapala people who attained to the stages of enlightenment were openly living in, so that that society is secured in many ways. But today, we do not know that kind of things, and we of course have Kalyanamitas, wholesome friends, but we do not know who attain to this stage, that stage, and so on. So that we should be able to think wisely and put our Yoniso Manasikara practice very much to be able to qualify for this state, at least at the time we passed away. So anyway, the famous four things that people should practice for becoming a Sotapanna are Kalyanamita Seva. It's called Sappurisa Sangseva in Pali. It means wholesome friendship. We have friends who could come to us for dinner, dance, and going on trips. And there are very good, kind-hearted people around us who help us for anything. But we could not consider all of them as Kalyanamitas. Kalyanamitas, the definition of Kalyanamita is such that these people help us practicing only good things. And if we are in the wrong track, they would take us into the right track. So they will advise further to do certain things that make sure our life is in the Dhamma. And these friends do not boost us, do not exaggerate, praise us for nothing. They want us to be happy. They want us to be in the Dharma. They want us to be away from unwholesome state. They always expect us to give something new in the Dharma. So they are very strong people around us. They are like pillars. They are like protection. So do we have those people in us? Perhaps you have. I think you are such people to me, because you always engage in the Dhamma, so that inspiration is always there from you, so that I consider you as Kalyanamitas. So likewise, we all should have Kalyanamitas, Sappurisa Sansev. Sometimes people will say, okay, you are a very, uh, unimportant person in life. You are not that enjoyable. This some people, even for us, people say that, Ante, this life is a precious life. It is okay for us to entertain our life on sensual pleasures. Uh, of course, if you are in a state of enjoying sensual pleasures, do it, because we cannot expect many things from you. But we should not tell this to people, that okay, you can enjoy sensual pleasures and at some point come to Dhamma. No, we should not do that. Buddha never did that. Buddha could have told people, enjoy your life with sensual pleasures as much as you can, and when you see your quality of life is gone, then come to practice. No, Buddhas never told such things, and even great disciples of the Buddha never talks about any important things in sensual pleasures. So, Kalyan Mittas are such people who help us for our peaceful stages of life. And then when Kalyan Mittas are present in your life, what you hear from them is Dharma. Dharma is nothing but the truth. Truth is nothing but what is happening in us. What is happening in us means we know from various point of view that I is only a given name for physical aspect. And when you dive into the concept further, you see only elements and senses, that's all. So, for example, the person called Peter is a designation for people to identify him, and what Peter has in his life is some elements: solidity, cohesion, heat, and air, and aggregates, and some actions. So, if we understand us in such manner, today and tomorrow and day after tomorrow, we maintain that understanding further, the negative things do not create in us because we have turned our things back otherwise, so that what is society is thinking is not the way we think. We of course go to a very wholesome vision. That's why in Ratana Sutta we call Sahavasa Dasana Sampadaya, the one who enters into the right vision. So when you think that you are such a material and combination of a material and immaterial thing, you enter into a solid, wise scope of understanding. Why? Because after it, you don't violate your principles. You do not harm anyone else, because you see yourself as a collection of elements. There, you think, why do I make others unhappy? Why do I want to steal others' properties? Why do I hurt somebody? Why do I mad at somebody? Because I am living a very short period of time. This body is not mine, and no anybody else either. So, but what I should do is nothing but being silent. So, such attitudes help you be away from wrong action, wrong words, and so on. Right? As long as you know that you enter into a state where you know who you are, that kind of reaction come from you. You don't, for sure, you don't want to do any violation of moral principles. Of course, such a powerful understanding is there with Sotapan, right? So that's why I'm telling you that Sapurisa Sanseva is important. With Sapurisa Sanseva, wholesome friendship, you make your Dhamma listening. You hear about the importance of Sila, importance of concentration, importance of Panya, importance of being away from attachment. You always hear these things from your particular friend. What happened to us if we do not have such people around? So then you become a Kalyana Mitra for you. The problem is solved. If you do not find anybody in your close vicinity with such qualities, okay, I should be kind and compassionate. I should develop this Dhamma in my mind and share it with. So then you become a magnet-like person. At the same time, you become a very important person for others, right? So these are the two important points out of 4 which you need to focus. First, having a Kalyana Mitra, not one single person, maybe many people. So it could be monks, it could be lay people, it could be both, it could be men or women, whatever. It could be a very small person, like, it could be a very poor person, but what he or she is talking about, right, about life. So perhaps inspiration for your Dhamma practice is coming from such sources, right? So once you listen to the Dhamma very much, I would say something here. Listen to Dhamma means you listen to Dhamma for the purpose, for a focus. Today, from various temples, we see people listen to Dhamma just because it is good, just because it produces merit, just because it helps us to know each other, just because it is considered one of the skillful activity. That's how people think about Dharma listening. But friends, Dharma listening is for knowledge, is for understanding what is wrong and what is right. It is for clearing your mind from doubts. It is to know the Buddha. It is to know the Dhamma. It is to know the Sangha. what can I do in this life if I stay here? That is also explained in the Dhamma. So the Dhamma explain what this mundane life, what the other lives, what happened to us if we do not pay attention to Dhamma after death. So everything is being talked in the Dhamma. So you listen to the Dhamma for the purpose of knowing what Dhamma helps me to eradicate some sort of unwholesomeness. What kind of, again, you can check your current life with the Dhamma if you read the Dhamma. So then you are come to an understanding. So far, I have been doing good with this practice, but not this one. I was wrong when I said that on that day. So everything is being cleared in the Dhamma. That's why Dhamma should be considered as a mirror, right? Venerable Rahula, the son of the Buddha, was questioned by the Buddha about the purpose of mirror. It is for reflection. Likewise, you should look at your own mind. You should look at your own life for clearing yourself from the Dhamma and Adhamma. So arousing Samadhi, therefore, is very important for any persons to choose Kalyanamitas as well as why we listen to them. So there are so many things we can add here, but I limit it. Then when you when you do things on the first one and the second one, then third one is very important. That is called wise attention, yoniso manasikara. Why this wise attention is important? Because a lot of people do unwise attention on things they should focus. So suppose if I have an idea that such as I live forever, I want to be a divine, I want to be in this place and so on. It is called unwise attention because what you think now may not be happening next time. When you say that I want to be reborn in happy destination, you have stood on the fact that I, Sakkaya Ditti, wrong view. So you have self-view. These are very subtle things perhaps you don't understand just by reading a discourse, but by thinking further on the Dharma related to our life, you could be able to read. So basically, Yoniso Manasikara, right thinking, appropriate thinking, wise thinking is key for us to break the unwholesome state of mind. In 7 stages of purification, we call Ditti Visuddhi, right? So without Yoniso Manasikara, you cannot even practice a single Dhamma of the stages of purification. Sila Visuddhi, purify yourself from moral principles. It means you complete list of immoral things, physically, verbally, and mentally. So your mind, your life is free now because of Sila. Then Chitta, you purify your mind from unwholesome state of mind by the two vehicle of meditation called Samatha and Vipassana. Then Ditti Visuddhi, you end the wrong view, view that harm you for a long time, and practice right view. So it happens, and the other stages of purification are Kanka Vitarana and Magga Jnana. So they are all depend on right thinking, right? If there is no thing called Yoniso Manasikara, we cannot even think about what happened to us. We even do not appreciate the Buddha if there is no Yoniso Manasikara. So earlier we've talked about the unwavering confidence on the Buddha Dhamma and Sangha, which Chapasada. It doesn't happen if there was no Yoniso Manasikara. So how could we understand who we are if there is no Yoniso Manasikara? How could we say this is important, this is not important, this is doable, this is not doable, this is right? How could you believe, trust on the Buddha's knowledge if you do not have Yoniso Manasikara? So appropriate attention or wise attention or Yoniso Manasikara, therefore, is like the dawn of the day. That means the sun is going to rise in couple of hours. The dawn in the morning around 4 or 5, 4:30 in the east sky is a sign that the sun is going to appear in about 1 hour or 1.5 hours. So Yoniso Manasikara is also like that. If a person has Yoniso Manasikara, don't worry about his attainment to Sotapanna state. It happens as assurance, because you have Yoniso Manasikara, right? The very opposite of Yoniso Manasikara is being discussed indirectly. It is Ayoniso Manasikara. When you have Ayoniso Manasikara, you think otherwise. Your vision is muddled. Your vision is not established. So you do not think that the sila is important. You even with Ayoniso Manasikara, what you develop is Michadittis and Sakkayaditthi very much. Ignorance is growing as a huge force in your mind with Ayoniso Manasikara, right? So in Avidya Sutta, this is exactly said. With Ayoniso Manasikara, you have Asatya Sampajanya, and Ayoniso Manasikara is because of listening to wrong Dhamma from wrong people, right? So Yoniso, therefore, we should be careful. In today's world, we have so many things, and we have different type of people in the Sangha order and also in lay community. They have been talking about various things as they think. But what is important for us is what the Buddha said instead of our own views. So friends, Yoniso Manasikara is therefore is relevant 100% for us to even to complete the first and the second. Sapurisa Sangseva, how could we find a reliable, wholesome friend if there is no Yoniso Manasikara? And when we listen to Dhamma, how do we know that this is right Dhamma? If there is no Yoniso Manasikara, we could not be able to say that this is right Dhamma. So Yoniso Manasikara is the master here. Because of Yoniso Manasikara, you also complete the fourth conditions for the practice of Sotapanna state, Dhamman Dhamma Patipatti, living according to the Dhamma, right? Living according to Dhamma is taking place when only you have Yoniso Manasikara. So I think out of these four, this is my personal view about it. Out of these four, the very important one here is Yoniso Manasikara, because without it, other three is not going to work, right? So now I should stop here. What I said is four things. If you expect four things, you could get it despite your social status. We talk about the emperor here, universal emperor. His state of life is not secured, because being a universal king doesn't mean that you have no chance of reborn in unhappy places. Of course you do, but even a very poor person who lives on the street could be away from wrong destination, because he or she has the unwavering confidence on the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and also the moral principle. That is what we said at the beginning. Now we talk about different four. If you carefully investigate, this conclusion could be right. What is that? Once you attain to the first stage of enlightenment, your characteristic are avicchapasad on the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, unwavering confidence on the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and also believing, trusting on Sila is happening 100%. So you see these four things from a Sotapanna once he or she attain to. But well before it, you have to practice a path for it. And that practice on the path is defined as association of Kalyanamitta, wholesome people, and then listening to the right Dhamma, and wise thinking, and living according to the Dhamma. So the second four I explained is important in the sense of practicing the necessary condition for Sotapanna, then you slowly gain that unwavering conditions for the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and so on. So, friends, these are the things. So, basically, I could tell you that these are the things you need to do to be a Sotapanna from by referring to Kanti Samyutta and also Silavanta Sutta. In that sutta, Venerable Sariputta tells Venerable Kotita that if you attain, you want to be a Sotapanna, you have to consider the five aggregates of clinging as negative, wrong in 11 ways. That there, Venerable Sariputta emphasized the fact that Yoniso Manasikara is important for on five aggregates of clinging, then only you become Sotapanna. Whether you meditate, whether you listen to the Dhamma, whether you read the Dhamma, whether you conduct the class, this knowledge could arise in you and destroy the three fetters, and it happens, right? So we also talk about the complete understanding of the Four Noble Truth when you attain to Sotapanna, and the practicing the Noble Eightfold Path into that state is called complete training. That's why you get the Sotapanna very title. So you have gone through the entire Noble Eight qualities into a greater extent. So these are the things we talk today in a way. But remember, if you want to be a Sotapanna, you know what you need to do. Keep your thoughts on the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Listen to the Dhamma very much. Stay connected with Kalyana Mitta. Wise attention is really important. And then every time, just make your life meaningful with words, action, and thinking, because Dhammanudhamma Patipatti is there, living according to the Dhamma. There, you either Saddhanusari or Dhammanusari. Do not end up your life without attaining Sotapan. If you have these conditions in your life, you don't die as an average person, you might be dying as a Sotapan. So that's all I can say according to the time. So it's 9 p.m. now. We should spend about 15 minutes or so for others to contribute, ask questions, and say something. So take your time, and it will be really helpful for others.
Sadhu Bante. Just a question about now the four things, Sotapanna Anga. We talk about the confidence in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. That is confirmed confidence in Buddha and Dhamma and Sangha, and unwavering. And the fourth one is Aryakanta Sila. Aryakanta Sila, that is the 5 precepts. So what is the meaning of Aryakanta? Aryakanta is the noble ones delight, or on this they kind of praise this Aryakanta Sila. Is it the meaning of Aryakanta Sila, 5 precepts?
Yeah, so when we do a careful investigation on this fact, we can find that the people come to an understanding that I never breach these 5 precepts or any other set of principles. With that intention, their status of life is going to because that very thought has made them noble, right? Because you think that I never breached it. That confidence is there for you to practice, right? For example, when you for example, there was a person who actually never considers the 5 precepts as important as it says, but some incident happened to him, and then he thought that I should practice these 5 precepts for 1 month, 2 months, and after these 2 months, he thought that during these 2 months or period, I never myself fell into any problems, but I got some satisfaction over, because for the last 2 months I never tell a lie. For the last 2 months I didn't even thought about harming anybody else. For the last 2 months and no signs at all in stealing and misconduct and taking something, some drugs that cause heat. So being away from these five wrongdoings for 2 months gave him some kind of satisfaction. So he thought that I should practice this very much. He went to his friends and told that I am so and so. So these people uh, at the beginning were not liking it very much, but they accept that he is sort of a person who practiced this. So kind of security he experienced for the next couple of months. The society is respecting him now as a good person. So from various point of view, he got the confirmation that this is good, right? So he feels that his life is admired by everyone. These are external influences, inspiration that came from. At the same time, very important thing is that his mind is now is control.
Hmm.
Earlier he thought that he experienced that he is unable to control his emotions. He was unable to stay connected with some one thing at a time. It goes here and the mind is wandering here and there. Now he is able to concentrate well, he is able to meditate well, he is able to be happy. He has self control on anger and other emotion. So that kind of advanced nature of life is achieved by this person for a certain period of time, not 2 months even after. So this what do we understand from this thing is that his has gone to a noble state.
Okay, so I think the sutta says when for a disciple of the noble ones, five forms of fear and animosity are stilled. So there is no fear or animosity of the five precepts are taken without unbroken. I guess
Yeah,
is still right.
yeah, of course. That is a very good point, because when we do not practice five precepts, we have fear of
Hmm.
fear of attacks from other people. And that's mean when you do not practice five precepts, it means that you can steal some ideas from some people, from some properties belongs to some people. And it means that you fear of court of custody and so on. So you do not fear of any such thing when you practice five precepts.
Yeah. So I think
You become happy that you are a
yeah.
loyal person to your partner because you do not violate it.
Yeah. The Sri mantra is Sri Mina is fearless at death. Is also there's another sutra talks about
Oh,
SF
yes.
55:27,
Right.
fearless at death.
That's a very good point too, because we see a lot of people. You as a doctor know this fact very much than us. A lot of people get into terminal illnesses, and they talk about various fearful thing. They talk about things they never able to do now. So they talk about their mistakes, they talk about their this and that. So now they are fearful of leaving. And but those who practice five precepts to the level of such, so they do not have fear. Today I met a elderly person who came from Sri Lanka, and he's about I think 80, no 75. So I told him that, is there anything that you worry about life, Bante? I know some mistakes I did, they are not rigorous, but I am very happy about my life. I treated my wife with my full capacity, and she's the one who brought me into Dhamma in early stages of my marriage life. Then we brought children, and we did so many things for. And I remember none of us accused anybody else. So my wife passed away recently. So I'm so happy about my life, and I do not have fear of dying. I don't know whether this person tell the truth or not, but
And
from
he from his
his way of saying, I guess how wonderful he is.
yeah, it is a
So yeah, that kind of confidence.
Mm.
He is a merit, is a kusala, right? Uh, he how this happened to us because of constant practice on five precepts. People think that five precepts is simple thing. It is started by monks and lay people every time they gather at temples, at houses. It is been chanted everywhere.
And
So this is simple. No, of course, simple thing is not practiced by.
but
Uh,
then another thing is that the confirmed confidence in the Dhamma, Thanisara Bhikkhu was talking. He said it's just like not having just confidence in Dhamma, just like as plain, but he has seen the deathless. So he
yeah,
has seen the deathless, and therefore he has a confidence in Dhamma. The enlightenment is possible. That's
yeah.
where the Sotapanna is, how he is confidence in the Dhamma, confirmed confidence.
That's right. You became a doctor after a long period of study. Remember the first day you planned to be a doctor. There you were not a doctor, but you know how to be a doctor. Then you enter into the practice of those conditions to be a doctor. So from the very beginning, you know that it is possible, right?
Mm.
It is something to be achieved. Likewise, we of course should have that confidence in us that we can be a sotapanna. But we do not know when, but we can do it.
Mm.
So that assurance of being a enlightened person to this state is very important. But when we look into the current context, some people do not even have an iota of idea about being in enlightened state. They hear about it, but they do not have that confidence. But I'm so happy about handful of people who we associate on a daily basis, monthly basis. They have that idea in mind. Of course, I think in the few, I don't know when, but for soon, for even a number of lifetime, they will be in enlightened state because they know what it is. We
But
they have seen the destination.
yeah, you have didn't speak about the Saddhanusari, Dhammanusari because this was so important. The pre-stream entry. I don't know whether we have time, but it is important because those are Sotapanna Magga, no, not Sotapanna Pala. Like they are in the entry to the stream entrance, right? But there are
Yeah,
so many others.
these two status of Magga to Sotapanna are really important because we have to locate ourselves where we are in the path.
Hmm.
So, if you have that Shraddha that the Buddha is fully enlightened and so on, and you see it just because you feel it, just because you heard it, because certain things has happened to you for you to have those ideas in mind. For example, you have seen your loved ones died. You have seen some suffering in your life because of illnesses and so on. You fed up with your material life, so that you have enough requisite in your life to come to a conclusion that the Buddha is right. So whenever I engage with such practices, I feel better, so that now you have that confidence. It's not a very strong deep analysis, but from various external view, external experiences that happen in a society, experiences happen to you, help you understand that the Buddha is right, so that I should follow these. I do not want very hair splitting things to do in this analysis, but I feel better when I do it. I feel better when I say this. So like such things made him to go to the refuge of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha very much. I think these people are in
Okay,
Sadhanusari.
and they with the guarantees that they are not going to die without being Sotapanna at the time of death. Even they can
Yeah, because
become a
they because they have come to that state with some personal experiences,
Hmm.
right? So you cannot avoid of seeing death of loved ones, and some unfortunate incident happened to you. You fed up with the stress, and despite what you have in life, like money and property and so on, you fed up with them. So now you have a very good conditions to enter into that state. Okay, Buddha has said it. Buddha was a prince, and why he did, why did he give up everything? Because of so from so many sources he or she come to a conclusion that I should follow a very simple, peaceful life based on these five precepts and so on. And the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha triple gem are the important refuge for me. So I should do this and that. So he may not be in a very clear analysis, but he prevent from wrongdoings. He prevent from creating further issues in his or her life.
What
But
about the past, like say Sotapan has created killed someone in the past. Now I know he's not doing anything now because he has the five precepts. But previous few, but does he fall into a lower realm because of that, or he does those are erased out?
yes, that's a good point. Suppose there is a person called John who killed a human being intentionally because of anger. Now he is about 45. Now he understood his mistake and he understood what the Buddha says and so on. I think you know I think if there is any strong, very, very strong Dhamma practice, he could be a kind of Saddhanusari and Dhammanusari, but it's a point to argue because he did not do any five rigorous wrongdoings, killing one's mother, father,
Yeah.
and arahants, shedding blood and schism of the sangha and so on. So he hasn't done any of these five. Therefore, he might be having a chance of attaining Sotapanna with very strong Kalyanamita Sevana and Dhamma listening, passive, active Dhamma listening, and Yoniso Manasikara for certain period of time. I think there would be a chance, but I do not know. But if you killed your mother, father, and arahants or whatever, at least if you have done one of these things, no matter
Yeah, no chance.
how strong your understanding, you may not be able to enter into Sotapan realm because you have done that bad thing in your life. Like in King Ajatasattu,
Yeah.
he did a very powerful Kusala Kamma organizing the first Sangha Council. Uh, Nobody in this life cannot do that. So even with that, he was not able to attain to Sotapanna state because he killed his own father.
That's true. Sorry, Bante. I think we go. I'll leave some other people have questions. Sorry.
All right, so we'll see. Yeah, I forgot the fifth of the five rigorous practices when I said it first, but I found it with the help of Purnima's chatting. That's why I explain it later on. Thank you very much. So, is there anything you could say now because his time is close to 9:20. There is a gentleman who comes to meditation every day, and he has here and he walked back his home in the middle of night, so that I should be compassionate for him.
Bante, I just wanted to ask about Smita here, about the Angulimala.
Yeah,
Angulimala, despite he had that record,
yeah,
he became a hunter.
true. Yeah, it's a very, very good question. But this is the thing with Angulimala case. Uh, Buddha saw his previous practices. In other words, Buddha saw Angulimala's the maturity on Shraddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. Shraddha, the rational, Shraddha, the unwavering, the confidence on the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha built through a wise attention, rational thinking is a quality of the spiritual life. and also Virya, the perseverance, Sati, the mindfulness, and then concentration, Samadhi, and Panya. These are faculties of a noble person, and the Buddha saw Angulimala has developed these 5 things in previous life. So this is his last life. Despite the killing of 999 people, he had that huge force in the Dhamma in his mind, so that if he, to complete the 1,000 killing, 1,000 fingers from 1,000 killing, he was about to kill his own mother, because mother got to know about this bad behavior of the son from the very beginning, but they were unable to stop him because they did not know where he was. Then the parents got to know that even the king of the country sending armies, a group of armies to kill, and nobody can do that. Then there was news going on in the country that the whole army of the king, is ready to go to catch Angulimala and kill him, because it's a very bad experience for the whole country. Then the mother, who was very old, was marching towards the forest area by the side of the road where Angulimala is killing those people. And then the Angulimala saw the old woman coming. I think, I can remember exactly whether he recognized that this is his mother or not. But anyway, his intention was to kill another person who actually he had killed 999 people, and killing another person, whether it is a woman or not, is not a matter for him. It's a very simple thing. He was joyous to kill this woman and complete his vows to the teacher. At this scenario, the Buddha saw from his special knowledge that Angulimala he has completed his training to be a full enlightened person, and if he killed the mother, his own mother, he is going to go to hell, leaving the chance of being a Sotama. This is what we get from the sources, I think. Then before he kills his own mother, Buddha intervened, and Buddha had that skill, Purisadhamma Sarati. Those people who have 5 faculties could be able to tame by the Buddha with the strong influence ways of the Dhamma. Then according to this story, Buddha went there, and now between the mother and the Angulimala, then leaving the mother, Angulimala went behind the Buddha. Buddha used his psychic power into a certain extent to make Angulimala stop. And then one story tells that the Buddha asked Angulimala to break a leaf from a tree. Then Buddha asked him to put it back where the leaves is. It is unable, because when you break a branch or leaf from the tree, you cannot fix it. Then Buddha said that likewise you could not fix those lives you killed. That's a second moment, or the first moment the Angulimala got into a kind of understanding that I did so many bad things in this life by killing 999 people. So slowly, gradually, Buddha was able to make Angulimala aware about what the right life and what the wrong life. There we see the gradual story that Angulimala came into. So your question is very nice. The answer is that it is certainty. There is a certainty that Angulimala is going to attain full enlightenment at some point of life, and the wholesome energy he carried to this last life is much more than the sin or the bad thing out of 999 people. But during that period, if he was if he kill his own father or mother or a full enlightened person to complete his garland of fingers, he blocked his chance to attain full enlightenment. That's all I can say. And if there is no other comments and questions, I would like to end today's Sutta discussion. The topic we keep today for this session is how to become a Sotapanna. We got some discourses and some statements of the Dharma related to Sotapanna, and we spend a very meaningful time with you, with us, so that I think the good thoughts we develop together and individually in this session is our Dhamma practice. I wish may you be able to continue your Dhamma practice further and attain either Sotapanna state or any other state in this very life. Sadhu, sadhu.